Today in the amp vault and the VST vault, the Audiority Solidus VS8100. The Solidus VS8100 is, as you could have guessed by now, based on the Marshall Valvestate 8100. But this isn't just the amp model, this is a whole signal chain. So let's start, well, at the start. We have input gain, okay, then we have a gate. We have three different options that I haven't fully understood yet, but all I know is this thing works. Then we have an overdrive. It's the Doctor drive that's actually free of charge. You can download it on the Audiority webpage. And this is based on the Horizon Precision drive. Then we have another boost section with an EQ. I think this is the MXR 10-band EQ, or at least the model. And here is a boost. We also get some presets here. Then we have the actual amp, and this is modeled very closely. We have basically everything that we have on the original amp except the FX loop. So we have 4 channels or 2 channels, however you want to count it. We have a clean crunch on the normal channel, gain, bass, middle, treble, and boost channel with OD1 and OD2, and a 4-band EQ, bass, middle, treble, contour, volume, master reverb, master volume, and that's it. Then we have an out EQ or an post amp EQ, and this is not based on the Mesa 5-band EQ pedal, which is one of my favorite EQ pedals, but on the throttle pedal Mesa Boogie hat, and with this EQ section. I think this is very close to the actual 5-band EQ, but I might be wrong. However, really cool. And then we have a dual cabinet loader, and you can actually load 2 cabinets and blend them, a couple different options. We get a couple of IRs as well, and you can of course load your own IRs. So let's start with the EQ comparison, and well, we start with the amp of course. So cap is activated right now, deactivated now. We start in the clean channel, power on. High cut, low cut, huge boost in the lower highs, around 4K. And we are right now, this is crunch. This is clean. Gain. Well, let's leave it here. Oh. Then we have bass. Not doing much. Small shelf. Middle. It's around the 900 or 800 Hertz region. And treble. Very subtle EQ. I think this won't change much on the crunch channel. Crunch just has more volume. Yep, I'm right. So let's switch to the boost channel. We're at OD1 right now, and you can already see there's a huge bass drop. And we can only subtly enhance it. but we can cut it quite drastically. Same for the mids. You can't scoop it as much as you could on the normal channel, but there is some scooping happening. Treble seems to be a bit more effective here on this channel. Now contour. There is your mid cut around the 8900 Hertz. And with contour on low, we get a huge cut on the high frequencies. So, first of all, let's find out if the EQ works. Yes, it does. I'll just go quickly through all the bands. And I started with the mids, well, because I always start with the mids. The shelf. You can also see the dB. That's nice. Is there anyone out there that boosts his 240 Hertz for plus 12? I don't know. Not me, at least. 2.2K. And 6.6 is a shelf as well. So deactivate it. Very neutral. That's cool. So does this work? Activate it. Let's give it a boost. No, this doesn't seem to work when the amp is deactivated. So let's try it with the amp and clean mode. Now it works. This is also plus or minus 12 dB. Come on. Yes. Well, I just turn them. You can basically see what I'm doing here. So that's our boost. And now the overdrive adds huge amounts of mids. Bright is what it's named after, I think. And attack. gives us a bit of a scoop. Oh yeah, I remember the Precision Drive had this different modes. Okay. I don't think I have to do EQs or cap IRs, EQ for the cap IRs, but well, why not? Just a bit here. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested in EQ comparisons of cap IRs. Maybe I'll do a dedicated video for this. Well, there are really lots of IRs, so you get the idea. So now let's find out how this plugin actually sounds. So because this plugin is so versatile, we skip the actual audio comparison or the playthrough where I shoot a DI into the amp and dial in the knobs, and we go straight into the live review part because I think it's most fitting. The signal chain is quite easy. It's Black Hat custom into DI box into the plugin. Nothing else, just the plugin, and I loaded a fresh instance, and this is the basic sound that you get when you first load the plugin. So first of all, let's toy around a bit with the clean channel and see what we can do here. I should make this. It's a clean channel. Let's switch to crunch. Nothing too spectacular. So let's switch to OD1, I think. Again, a good overdrive mode. Now, overdrive 2. This is my favorite channel, or well, This is the basic sound out of the amp. The knobs aren't as responsive as they should, but it's okay to dial in a cool sound, at least for me. So let's open the gate, and you see when we activate it and the trigger level is on minimum, noise is gone. Really cool gate. So let's keep this activated. Now the overdrive. So with the overdrive activated, we come more into the realms of where I really like the sound. It gets really metal. And well, that's a cool addition to have it in the same plugin, so you don't have to load another plugin or so, but you can, of course. So deactivate, and let's switch to the boost section. And in the boost section, here we have the factory presets that are for the total suit, so everything, cap, output EQ, input EQ, etc. And here we have another section, it's only for the boost EQ section. And here we have, well, some modulations of distortion pedals. So let's try TS808 Bright. Let's use, I know what you wanna hear, but I wanna hear a DS1 stock first. So now you might think, well, this doesn't sound like an HM2. And yes, that's true, because we need the overdrive as well. So when we activate this, it should sound way different. Well, I thought it would sound more chainsawy, but we come to that in a minute. So as you can see, the EQ, the overdrive, really versatile. You get all those different EQ bands where you can tweak the sound. And then we have another feature. Let me first dial in a nice, well, this should do the trick. Yes, now comes the output EQ. And now let's, oh, we even have here some settings. I haven't tried those. Soft spark. Those are much more audible than the presets on the EQ Boost, but it's a cool addition. So, well, this is okay. Let's move to the caps. And as you can see, just one cap is activated, and let's just try a bunch of different. So lots of different flavors, extreme differences between the different caps, and there should be something included for basically everybody. Plus you have, well, let's just use this. You have a couple of controls to even tweak it more to your liking. Just toying around, but you see it's really capable, and you can load your own IRs if you would like to, and you can blend IRs if you like to. So that's a good overview, I think. Now let's try some presets. Crazy Train. Something like that, I think. But less gain. Going metal. some Metallica presets. That's decent. Symbolic. Oh yes, symbolic. Tight rhythm guitar. Well, it's tight. So we got some artist presets. Some broken up clean. Okay, let's. Okay. Broken up ambience. That's with the integrated reverb. It's a cool feature to actually have a reverb. Now, high gain 7 string, because I have a 7 string. Well, I wouldn't call it high gain, but it's a decent sound. I could have dialed in this sound as well. What do we have here? Some more. Well, I don't have to go. Those have some fancy names. Obituary Harry. Oh, it seems that we don't need a gate. Okay. I want something with a gate, please. Okay, that's better. You can also include some user presets, and I've dialed my own preset. I call it a Dome chainsaw. I don't know if this is a close replication of a chainsaw. It's, well, basically the only preset that I saved. So let's try this out. Well, what have I done here? Some huge drive, not as much level. The EQ boost, like this. Amp setting. Outboard EQ, just a slight V curve. And a cab. Yes, I basically used the standard IR. I haven't changed the IR at all. So, well, that's my chainsaw preset. So I think this is enough. So here's the verdict. So before you hear the verdict, little disclaimer here. I got a free copy from Audiority for reviewing purposes, but all the thoughts and all the opinions are my own. Audiority has no power over the content of this video. And they don't have to, because I like this plugin. First I thought, well, this is just the amp simulation. I didn't know it's a full suit. And I think it's really well put together. You got a drive pedal, you get an EQ section, both preamp, post-amp, got the amp itself, and you get a cap loader. Well, the cap loader is really cool. It has basically all the options or knobs you want to have on a cap loader, and you get lots of caps with it. That's cool. I like most of the caps, although I do prefer my Bogren IRs. But it's a really nice addition, and I didn't expect this much. The post amp EQ is based on a Mesa Mark V. That's really cool. Mesa Mark IV, excuse me. It's really cool because I really like the Mark IV EQ or the 5-band EQ, but I don't know if everyone likes it. Would be cool if you have some switchable options, maybe to get a more common 10-band EQ or so. But for me, that's perfect. But it's of course a matter of opinion. The amp itself sounds really cool. It's has the typical Marshall pros and cons. Rather ineffective EQ, and the contour is really drastic. It actually just works for me in a specific position. But I get some really usable sounds out of it, and I find myself using the Solidus basically always when I do songwriting on the PC or tracking demos or so, and that's cool. And a big part of why I use the Solidus so much is because of the preamp section. This consists on a EQ boost and the overdrive. The overdrive, I'm no big fan of the precision drive, but it does the job. It adds gain and level. I don't play around with the bright or the attack settings. I just need the gain. And then I can shape the tone even more with the EQ section. Here we have the 10-band EQ, and that's totally cool. In the beginning I found the EQ a bit ineffective. I would have preferred if the EQ was more drastic, for instance, not a 12 dB, maybe 18 or even 24. But it's usable. I always have to remind myself that this is a bonus. And so that's really cool bonus. You get lots of different sounds out of it. You even can mimic different pedals like the Tube Screamer, the SD1 or the HM2. The boost is also a nice function. The noise gate is very effective, but I found that Audiority's noise gates are always really effective. So, huge plus. What can you say more? I've mentioned all the cons. I would have liked maybe some mix or blend function for the EQ, but that's just me basically dialing in an HM2 sound and want to blend it. So that's personal preference. Yeah. Have you tried the Solidus? Or have you tried any other Audiority plugin? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to purchase the Solidus or any other plugins from Audiority, check out the links in the description. This even helps me, and with this helps the channel. So with this said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. May the force be with you, and have a nice day.